Hello and welcome to ESL 3-4. This week's topic is around town. We're going to talk about eating out and shopping. We're going to use the past, future, and present tense. We're also going to talk about forming dependent clauses using the adverb when, and we're going to learn how to use Google Maps to explore the world. So let's start with some vocabulary. We have the past tense of to eat is ate. Our base verb is eat, and will eat is in the future, right? We also have where do we eat? We could eat at a cafe, a bar, a food truck, an ice cream parlor, or even a casino. When we go to eat, we usually eat in a restaurant. There are many types of restaurants. A small restaurant is often called a diner. You could go to a buffet where you serve yourself. You go to a cafe, which is a nice place for a quiet date. You could go do some outdoor dining. In these COVID times, there's a lot more outdoor dining. We could go somewhere very nice like Commander's Palace for some fine dining, or we could go to a banquet for another formal occasion. All right, so when we go out to eat, there are many steps. We start by making a reservation. So first we make a reservation. When we get to the restaurant, we wait to be seated. We read the menu. We choose our meal. We eat our meal. We get the bill. We get the check. We pay the bill. We leave a tip. And we exit the restaurant or exit the building. You can see these verbs in present, past, and future tense here on this chart. And we'll use those when talking or writing as we talk about this assignment. So here's a conversation. Recite this conversation, read it out loud, and then change the information to make a reservation for yourself. When we are talking, we often use dependent clauses. Dependent clauses are groups of words with a subject and a verb, but they don't express a complete thought, so they can't stand alone. When we use these clauses, sometimes we have to use a comma and other times we don't. You can see those setups here. If the dependent clause is in the front of the sentence, you have to use a comma. And if it's in the back of the sentence, you don't use a comma. Okay? All right, so let's practice some of this. Let's start by looking at a menu, and we can have a couple fill in the blanks here. What items would you choose for your meal? And we could say, I will have the fried chicken. And then let's do a little bit of math and think about how much will your dinner bill be. And so if the chicken is $7.29, that's $8. And if I get a drink for $2, that's $10, right? So I will pay about $10 and I will tip, I don't know, $2, right? Fill it in for yourself. Look at some different options. They have a lot of vocabulary on here. Okay. And then here we have some sample conversations. And then we've removed the words here for you to fill in your own responses. So, and these are using dependent clauses in these responses. So practice that, write them out. So the next thing we're going to talk about shopping, and we're going to talk about some of the different places you can go to shop. You could go to the outlet mall. You could go to a strip mall, which is just one line of stores, often along a highway or a main street. You can go to a shopping center, which is like a big center with big parking lot, lots of stores. You can go to a shopping district like we have on Magazine Street, where you can walk up and down the street and there's a big variety of stores. And you could also go to a traditional mall where all the stores are together in one building, right? So we have our past tense, shopped. We have shop and will shop for the future, where we will shop for spacesuits, apparently. All right. So we often hear this word, though, to go shopping. And we just wanted to say, in this case, shopping is a gerund. It's a verb that ends in ing that's acting as a noun. So shopping is an activity. It's the activity of searching for and looking for products to purchase, right? So we have some other examples of common what looks like verbs, gerunds that are acting as nouns. So dancing is my passion. The verb in this sentence is. Dancing's a thing in this sentence. And so shopping can often also be a thing, right? So we'll keep that in mind. We have here another conversation for you between Grace and Alva, and they're deciding what they want to go shopping for. Read that over to yourself. Say it out loud as you are reading it. And then let's practice. Redo the conversation between Grace and Alva with a partner, or write it out yourself. Where would you go shopping? When? What would you like to go shopping for? What other information could you add in here? The possibilities are endless. And then the last thing that we're going to look at is, again, some of these dependent clauses. Here we show you with whether or not you need the comma. All of that is correct. And you can just fill it in for what you might go shopping for when we go around the world to discover some different places. So in Google Maps, you can walk around towns. So we're going to go to Paris to start this, and I encourage you to go to the different places. This is already set for Street View. On your own, if you start on the grid view like this, on the left-hand side, there's a box that says, I'm sorry, if you start in the Street View, you can go to this box here that looks for the satellite, to switch it to the satellite. And then the little man, you pick him up and you can put him anywhere that there's a blue line. Wherever the blue lines are, you can just drop the person and they will take you to a different part of the city. But we're going to start by going to this first location here in the Paris streets that I've already identified. So as you go forward, you can walk around. You can hit this button to turn. And you can do this all over the world. So in your class, take some time, test it out, see where you can visit, and have some fun exploring the world. If you click on these little icons as you find them, you'll get a pop-up box that tells you, the name of the restaurant or the museum or the shopping center. So use that as some inspiration to come here and talk about the things that you might buy as you go shopping around the world. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.